Hello, this is Debra Baker with the CISO Guide to Cyber Resilience podcast. Welcome back to the CISO Guide to Cyber Resilience podcast. We keep you informed about the latest cybersecurity threats and how to stay one step ahead. Hi, I'm Debra Baker, your host, and as always, I have the amazing, incomparable Isabella Otero.
Thank you. Thank you, Debra, and hi, everyone. We have some really eye-opening updates today, especially about privacy and how it might be compromised in ways you have never expected. But first, we're going to start with a shocking revelation that has everyone talking.
Yeah, this one is big. So a leak has surfaced, and I found this on Daily Mail, suggesting that your phone might really be listening in on your conversations. So we've all heard the rumors, and now there's actually some evidence that might back this up.
That's scary. A leaked pitch deck from Cox Media Group has exposed what they call active listening software. It's reportedly able to collect and analyze voice data from any microphone-equipped device, smartphones, laptops, and the kicker? Big names like Facebook, Google, and Amazon are said to be using this technology to target ads based on what people are saying.
So this deck describes a process where AI scans conversations for intent data, which is then paired with behavioral data to serve targeted ads. So if you're talking about buying a new car, you might start seeing ads for car dealerships within hours. This is not just speculation anymore. This leak is offering some concrete details.
Exactly. Now, both Meta and Amazon have denied using this technology, and they've claimed that they don't use your phone's microphone for ad targeting. But this leak raises a lot of questions: how many companies can actually listen in, and whether it's even legal.
The craziest part is that this kind of active listening is technically legal. The terms and conditions that we all agree to when downloading apps, and we just, hello, yes, okay, and on to whatever it is we actually want to do, include permissions for things like active listening. So while it feels like an invasion of privacy, it's buried in the fine print.
And I don't know about you and other people out there, but every time I download an app and it asks for location services, if it's like a GPS application, I'm like, okay, yeah, you can track my location as long as I'm using the application. But other than that, I don't want you to have pretty much any access to my location. I feel like that's also another sensitive area. And it's a perfect reminder of why we need to be careful with permissions we grant to apps. We've always have been warned about data security, but this just shows just how far that an issue can extend. It's not just about what you type, it's about what you say.
Exactly. And this development isn't just about privacy concerns. It's also about trust. How much can we trust these tech giants with our data? If you're interested in learning more, make sure to look up the full report on this active listening software, which is on, I originally got it from the Daily Mail, and you'll see some other websites covering it too. We'll continue to follow this story closely and share any updates with you in future episodes.
Absolutely, Debra. Now, on to the main topic. So, there was a newly discovered malware campaign called Voldemort. No, it's not just a name from Harry Potter series. This malware is a real threat. It's targeting organizations worldwide using Google Sheets to store stolen data and communicate with infected devices.
This is definitely one of the more concerning campaigns we've seen lately. The attack was first spotted on August 5th, 2024. And according to a report from Proofpoint, it has already sent over 20,000 phishing emails to more than 70 organizations. Sectors like insurance, aerospace, transportation, and education have been hit the hardest.
And what's really alarming about this malware is how sophisticated it is. The phishing emails are designed to look like they're tax authorities, a great way to get people to click. The attackers craft these emails based on a targeted organization's location, using public information to make them more convincing. Once the link is clicked, it redirects the victim to a page serving a document, when in reality, it's setting up the malware.
That's right. If you're using a Windows machine, the attack uses the search-ms URI, which tricks the system into thinking the malicious file is local, like something that's already in your downloads folder. Once that file is opened, a hidden Python script gets triggered, and from there, the real damage begins. This script collects system information about the victim while displaying a decoy PDF to keep them distracted.
And at this point, the malware named Voldemort gets loaded into the system using a technique called DLL sideloading. The attackers make it seem like they're running a legitimate Cisco WebEx program, but they're actually launching the Voldemort backdoor alongside it. What's so unique about Voldemort is that it's written in C and supports a wide range of commands, allowing the attacker to download, upload, execute commands, and even delete files on the infected.
And here's where things get really interesting. Instead of using traditional command and control C2 servers, Voldemort abuses Google Sheets as a C2 server. Each infected machine writes its stolen data into specific cells within a Google Sheet. This means that the malware is using Google's API to communicate, making it much harder to detect because security tools don't typically flag Google Sheets as suspicious traffic.
Exactly. Google Sheets is commonly used across organizations, so blocking access to it would disrupt legitimate operations. The Voldemort malware takes advantage of this by embedding client IDs, secrets, refresh tokens to interact with the Google Sheets API, ensuring that the attackers can issue commands and retrieve data from infected devices without raising too many red flags.
To give you an idea of the range of capabilities Voldemort has, here's a list of some of the commands it supports. Ping, which tests connectivity with a C2 server. DIR retrieves a directory listing. Download exfiltrates files from the victim's system. Upload sends files from the attacker server to the infected machine. Exec runs specified commands or programs on the system. Copy and move manages files within the infected device. Sleep puts the malware in a dormant state for a set duration. And exit terminates the malware's operation on the machine.
That is a lot of functionality for one piece of malware. And by using Google Sheets as its C2 channel, Voldemort makes it much harder for defenders to spot malicious activity. This tactic isn't entirely new. Last year, the Chinese Apt41 group also used Google Sheets for similar purposes. But what makes this case special in the scale and stealth of the campaign?
So how do organizations defend against this? Well, Proofpoint has some key recommendations. First, they suggest limiting access to external file sharing services like Google Drive and Google Sheets to trusted servers only. Second, blocking connections to Cloudflare, a service used by the attackers to tunnel malicious traffic. This can help prevent these attacks from succeeding. And lastly, organizations should monitor for suspicious PowerShell executions, which can indicate the presence of malware like Voldemort.
That is crucial advice. It's also a good reminder for everyone, whether you're an IT admin or a regular user, always be cautious with email links, especially those claiming to come from tax authorities or other official sources. Phishing campaigns are getting more advanced, easy to be caught off guard.
Absolutely. The Voldemort malware campaign highlights just how creative and persistent cybercriminals can be. By abusing everyday tools like Google Sheets, they're finding new ways to stay under the radar, and it's up to all of us to stay vigilant and informed.
That's a great point, Debra. We'll keep you all updated as more information comes in about this campaign and any others like it. In the meantime, make sure your organization has the right protection in place and always question those unexpected emails.
That's it for today's episode of the CISO Guide to Cyber Resilience. Thanks for tuning in, and don't forget to subscribe to stay updated on the latest cybersecurity threats and tips to stay resilient. And again, Thanks for listening. Thanks for listening. Don't forget to pick up a copy of my book, A CISO Guide to Cyber Resilience, available on Amazon. And remember to stay cyber resilient.